All right, team. Hey, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is Traders War Room. I'm Chuck. We're going to go ahead and kick off with the lunchtime crunch. People can come in as they want to. We're streaming live on YouTube. We haven't done this for a while. I want to go ahead and get cracking. Man, we got a lot of buzz in the marketplace currently going on right now. There's a lot of this meme craze. There's a lot of this bullish craze. So just a lot of stuff's happening right now. I want people to be excited about the market. I also want people to be cautious as well. We don't want to get too overzealous. I don't want people to full port into positions and just go YOLO on certain things. All right. Just because they're excited about certain things. I want them to be tactical with their decision-making process. And I want them to also ensure, especially if they're doing options, that they're buying time. If they're purchasing stocks, I want them to make sure that they're not purchasing at the top, that they're making sure that they catch things on dips and they leave some dry powder on the sideline so they can dollar cost average to lower the price on dips. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn my video off so that you can focus on the stocks. We'll come back in at the end. I got a few messages, a few notes at the end of it, but let's go ahead and crack in. We got about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Let's get a good lunchtime crunch. If you got things you want to go over, you can drop them into the comments and I'll cover it. But pretty much a lot of the stuff you guys are going to ask, we're probably going to cover it here. And just you can always catch the repeat and the copy that's going to be on the YouTube as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go out there and try to kill this market and make some money. All right, starting out, AMC. Let's look at, we're on the 5 minute chart right here. AMC, or excuse me, that's Tesla. AMC. As you can see, meme stock craze is coming in. Let's look at the C. First of all, we're going to do the bird's eye view approach first. All these things are moving off of volume. You can see it came out of consolidation. This is the 6 month, 4 hour, right? And you can see huge movement up here. Now, typically, we don't like to buy in things when they're pushing like this, but given the price range, I think that this is okay to go ahead and hop in some shares and take a gamble. If you're purchasing leaps on options, I think that's okay. You want to stay probably within a 2x period on leaps pushing out to the end of 2025 into 2026. You don't want to go crazy and look at like $20 and $15 stuff like that. You want to stay within a range, okay? $8 to $10 range on some leaps, but shares anywhere below this $4.50 range, I think is an okay price to start nibbling in, especially if you're even higher than this previously in your bag holding. Take an opportunity to go ahead and average costs down on your position. It's moving on some volume. Movies are starting to hit. People are headed back to it. I know that there's some big names coming out, and we're starting to see some flow back into it. So it might be a good opportunity to go ahead and take a gamble on these. Let's go into the 5 minute. You're starting to see the push, right? You got your push up, your drawback, you got your nice step ladder in, okay? Drawback. If trends tend to repeat themselves, remember technical analysis exists because trends tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to, but the push up, the pullback, the push up, the pullback, the push up, the pullback. Next one should be a push up. And if we go off of previous, right, you can kind of come here at the top. We get our basic line, come here at the bottom. You don't go to all the way to the bottom. We're just looking for a good range. We're looking at about, what's that, about a 40 cent move. Let's see what our top range up here was. About a 40 cent move, right? See what our top range up here was, right? About a 40 cent move. So if we push again, we're looking for probably about a 40 to 50 cent move over this one as well. So if we tend to repeat themselves, like I said, we're step laddering up, 40 cent move, push, 40 cent move, push. If we go ahead and break again, we're looking for maybe a 40 cent move. Faraday. Now, this one's a true penny stock. When you're doing this one, remember, we're looking for just little slight movements, okay? Definitely, if you've been in this one, I know that if you're on the Discord over in Traders War Room, we've been in this one for a while. We ended up buying back in like 5 cent area. So go ahead and take some profits. Obviously, up here, we're in deep, maybe 1,000 shares, 2,000 shares. That's fine. Go ahead and take some profits. 2 cents on 1,000 shares is a decent little run. If you guys have more, you're up there in the 5,000 to 10,000 shares. Go ahead and take some profits. These are fun, okay, because these move quick. Go ahead and take a gamble on this one. Obviously, it's a small account and it's under 10 cents. So if you're using, depending on the broker, you're going to have to probably buy a significant amount of shares, but buy yourself 1,000 shares, maybe try 10,000 shares, go on a gamble, but make sure you set a stop loss, okay? Because if we start to trend back below this line here, we're probably looking like the bears have won and we're probably trending back down to the downside. So make sure you get a good stop loss. Give yourself some room to allow some fluctuation. But if we start to trend back below a decent line, I think this is probably a decent line to go ahead and look for some downtrend. If we start to trend below this, we'll probably, got to accept a little bit of defeat and probably look to go ahead and cut losses. GameStop, the one that's getting everybody excited. Okay, look at GameStop. GameStop is popping. Okay, one of the things that's getting everybody excited on GameStop is that guy DFV. You might remember him from the Wall Street Bets. He's kind of the guy that steamrolled this whole thing on the short sellers, stick it to the man, retailers, run the market, all that type of stuff, right? Well, he came out the other day, pushed, a tweet on the Twitter platform or the X platform, and he hadn't done nothing for like 3 years, right? So he came out and just had just a basic little meme post and got people totally excited, man. There's a lot of diamond handers on this one. A lot of people have been holding bags, heavy bags for a minute. I mean, you can look at this going into a bird's eye view approach. You can see this thing's been low. Okay. So people have been holding this for a minute. Definitely a big gap up. Now you can see this wicked out pretty hard. Okay. But this is shorting and squeezing type of scenario that we're seeing here. So can this thing move? Absolutely. Okay. But you want to be very careful coming in and getting shares below 30 on a potential squeeze opportunity. Yeah, sure. Just understand your risk that you're associated. You can't go ahead and put the mortgage on this thing at $30 and say, you know what, hun, we're going to go ahead and bet the house on this thing and this is going to go straight to the moon. Don't do that. You got to be able to play these meme stocks with the money that you don't care about losing, okay? Because just as fast as it ran, it can just crash just as easily, okay? Because people are looking to come out of this, all right? There's a lot of heavy bags and people are just waiting to get just a little bit of profit. And once they get some profit, they're going to come out of it and stuff like that. Not everyone's going to be a diamond hander on this one. So just be cautious with that. We're also looking for some options to start trading on this one. We're looking for the leaps right now. All you got really on these things is you're looking at 37 is the max. So we're waiting for some riders to start putting in some more option ideas over here. You got definitely look at the volume on these ones. Okay, the volume is spiked up on these ones coming in. All right, this one right here, 21 Jan. This seems to be really popular. You can see this one. This one's huge volume on the day right here. Also going into the end of May. Got a lot of volume, okay? So definite, but we're waiting for some of the option writers to come in here and write some better options that go a little bit further out the money, all right? So just be patient on this one. I'd be more apt to go ahead and grab shares of this. That way, at least we don't have an expiration on it and we can go ahead and hold for a little bit longer. But it's definitely fun. It's interesting. This is the stuff that makes stocks, enjoyable when you got some type of frenzy coming on here. It's also the type that gets people, upset if they go too deep. So just understand what you're getting into with these type of stocks. Okay, these are fun. These are meme-ish, right? But we cannot just bet the kitchen sink on these. Okay, this has to be just excess fun that's off of a whim. Like if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, you know what? It was fun while it lasted. Invax is popping. At this level, we're looking pretty bearish right here. You're starting to see a lot of these stocks, these meme-ish stocks that have pushed and they're pushing hard. You're starting to see the ones that are kind of fading. Okay, so this one's kind of fading a little bit. We're probably looking like we push as much as we're going to push. People are starting to profit take and it's starting to head to the downside. So coming out of this consolidation zone, we're looking pretty weak coming into this. Does that mean it's going to tank? We'll have to see what happens. But definitely, again, any of these type of things we want to put levels on. If we start breaking certain levels off of the pop, like going down here might be a little too aggressive because we might miss out an opportunity. But if we start to break, this seems to be a pretty decent little shelf because we popped up. It kind of hit this little area where it was a battle and then it took off, right? So you put a line right here and you say, okay, if we start to close behind here, this was a battle zone. before we took off and the bulls won, right? If we start to lose this battle zone here, then the fight's coming back towards the line back here. That's kind of how you got to look at it. But this one looks pretty good, looking like we're starting to make moves to the upside. I like this one. This one's cheap. Go ahead and think about maybe a long entry in this one. This is a decent one for some shares long. 229 right now currently. CCLD, CareCloud. Chart looks really good setup. You wicked out pretty hard, came back down, and now we're kind of just hitting the little levels, kind of looking like a little, rolling hills, right? Next one could be put up here, and then we roll back up. All right. So we're definitely looking a breach above this would put us in range for the push into the threes. So opportunity right here for about maybe a dollar move to the upside. Nikola is interesting. Okay, this thing was popping pretty good here recently. Could give an opportunity. There's some definite shifts. You saw this huge push here, and it's kind of been downtrending ever since then, but it's kind of, it's been choppy. You got the downtrend here. This was the huge push here. This is what got people, they were in here, and this got people excited, but then, of course, it ended up started selling off again, right? Now we're down here again. I'd be watching this. I'd be putting a level, okay? This would be about where I'd want to go ahead and hop in and then put a nice little stop loss. This, you can't be emotional on this one. This has to be one of those that you play this one. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So you go ahead and you hop in 55 cents, get yourself some shares, maybe even look at some options if they're available for a decent price. And you go ahead and you tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to set a level here. I'm going to go ahead and put my line maybe here, 53. If we start to trend below that level, I'm going to go ahead and cut out, and you can always come back into this. Okay. Protect that capital, protect that capital. Remember, 4 pillars to success. Traders War Room likes to operate on is planning, training, managing, and securing. Okay. 4 pillars to success: planning, training, managing, and securing. PTMS. Neo's starting to trend a little bit. You're starting to hear some buzz coming back into the EV sector a little bit. A lot of these are pretty cheap. That's why they're getting some attention. What you want to listen for is when you're starting to look at these particular EV stocks, specifically the ones that used to be really popular. What you want to listen for is buzzwords inside of the community of, greed, and you want to speculative buying and stuff of this nature, right? When you start to hear the words fear and scared and things of that nature, big institutional buyers, they're not purchasing these stocks like this, okay? Because these are speculative in nature. They're unsure of the certainty of the future and things of that nature. When you start to get into the greed aspect of it, when you start to get into the, you know, the aspect of where you're okay with taking a little bit of risk. Risk on is another buzzword in the market. When you start to hear these type of words, these are stocks that are able to accelerate pretty decently. We go ahead and put some triggers on this. We look for this. We start to trigger over the top. We look for the long entry. We start to trigger down here. We're looking probably for some short entry. This won't give us much, but we're definitely, if depending on how many you buy, it has high volume. So you can buy yourself some cheap contracts. You can go deep. You can make a nice little penny. Make sure you buy yourself some time. Also shares. If you want to, I'd wait for shares to go ahead and purchase. I'd be waiting for shares on this one, particularly until we start to really push above that 750 range, showing momentum on our way towards $10. To be honest with you, right now we just haven't been showing any type of real follow through on the momentum. So hold off on the shares, in my opinion. Medical prop, we look like we're fading a little bit to the downside. So this one's probably an initial loser, probably got some bag holders up here, and they're probably hating life right now because it's heading to the downside. DNA is popping right now, 84 cents. This might be a good opportunity to go ahead and hop in some shares. Be able to get a nice little push here, about 3 cents, maybe a 5 cent banger if we break above this level here. Above this 87, that give us a $3 push. Going a little deep, we break above this 3 cent push here. This could easily get us into the 90s. That'd be a nice little day trade opportunity off of a cheap price. DNA has been good to us here recently. We had this one for a while. we've been in this one for a minute, guys. Okay, so this one's been a good stock to trade. It's been trading really well previously. Oh well, I got to come out a little bit. All right. DNA's up here. It's been down here. It's been one of those darling stocks that you can trade off of day trading opportunity because it's been consolidating with nice little spikes up and down and stuff like that. So definitely keep that one on your radar. It's popping. Good one to trade. Tesla. All right. Tesla popped up pretty hard. Congratulations to the bulls that caught that swing that we had going on. There was a lot of bear opportunity. I saw a lot of bear swings on Tesla thinking it was going to push to the downside. Listen, guys, anytime you see Tesla likes to move in the $5 ranges, and I tell you guys this all the time, okay? It likes to move in the $5 ranges. So when you see Tesla, and this is just something I like to trade, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't, but more often than not, it works out and it works out well. If you start to see Tesla trading near a 5 or a 0 type of range, 75, 170s, 175, 180s, something like that. It likes to trade and hit those fives and those zeros. Okay. So 168, right? It's consolidating a little bit. Okay. We're looking at is the momentum holding? Is it staying tight? If it's staying tight, then we're probably looking okay for a swing. Let's go ahead and swing long and see what happens. Boom, you swing long, you keep staying at the money, in the money as much as you can afford. The 175s, the 180 contracts, boom, they pop off. You get your money. Okay, Tesla, one of those, especially with options, you're not playing around with it. If you start to go green, you want to take and stay lean, okay, and get your money. All right, you can leave some runners, but you always want to put that stop loss on it because Tesla will hurt your feelings. Right now, we're looking like we're holding this level, 171. I would say if we stay above the zero, right? If we stay above the zero, the 170, we're probably looking for the push. We can probably swing long. If we close below the 170, the zero, right? We're probably wanting to go ahead and we could see the push down to the 165 area or something on a negative swing. But if we keep the sentiment the way it is currently, the market sentiment, the sentiment on Tesla, everything like that, we're probably looking for a decent little push and we can get Tesla coming back up to 175, maybe even 180 by the end of the week. Rivian flagging. All right, consolidation mode. This one's difficult to play. Rivian pushed pretty decently already. Coming here, it needs some sort of catalyst. If we don't get some sort of catalyst that continues off of this consolidation zone, I don't see much more that this thing's going to push. It's probably going to catch this here. People are going to get tired of holding it here. They're going to go ahead and sell out. They already made their money and they're going to go ahead and sell out. And this thing's going to probably retrace about 50% of what it ran. That's just my opinion. I don't really like to trade Rivian too much. Shares long, sure. At this price, anything below $15, yeah, shares, go ahead, get them. I prefer shares below 10, but you're at 10.99, $11. It's close enough. Nibble in, dollar cost average on some dips. I like it. Fuel cell right here is popping off pretty decent, looking good. I'd go ahead and take a gamble at this one. You might be able to get a decent little push on this, maybe a 20-cent move, maybe even a push to $1. Fuel cell moves, and when it's popping and it's popular and there's a lot of buzz, it likes to move hard and fast. So yeah, I could see this one popping right now. It's doing really well. Volume is in there. MACD is about to cross to the upside above the center line. Yeah, it's looking good. So 71 cents. Yeah, why not take a gamble? See if it can push to 75, come in deep, 1,000 shares, and go ahead and push this. Look for that push above here. If we can break above the line, we above this line here, we could probably get the push and the break to 75. That's where we want to probably take some profits, leave some runners with the stop loss above break even. If we're doing options on this one, we probably want to go ahead and do some leaps pushed out. I don't even know if this thing has options. Does it have options? Yeah, it does have options. What are options? Well, look at this. Yeah, I mean, you could do a dollar option here, pretty cheap right there, pushing out 16 January 2026. Yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Buy yourself 10 of those. Sure. I mean, it's pretty good in range. You probably could come in at 27, 28, right in between the bid and the ask and get yourself some decent there's volume on it. Yeah. I mean, why not? You come in better. There's not much volume on this one though on the day, But yeah, this $1 one, sure, why not? Go ahead. Sounds like an okay gamble, in my opinion. You got yourself some time as well. SoFi, I hate SoFi. I'm not gonna lie, man. SoFi, I don't know. SoFi is one of those I just don't like it, dude. I don't know why. A lot of people like SoFi. I don't like it. It just doesn't trade well. Barcodes all the time. You get these spikes like this. And I mean it spikes up, but I mean, look at this. This spike, it was like huge, huge volume for like a 30-cent move, man. And now we're downtrending. We're headed back down, man. SoFi is notorious of this. We head back down, spike up. We're gonna stay in range. I'd look at SoFi like this, man. We pop above here, we can probably look long, but if we can't and we can't hold this, I'm going to go in between here and current level, and I'd probably put it about right here. We start to close below this level, which is basically between here and current level. I'm just making up a line, just kind of what I think. We're probably looking for the short entry back to 7. Soundhound, this was just a popular little stock that popped on some volume. We're looking pretty weak here. We popped up, we came down, we came back up. We're looking weak, probably to the downside. Ford's popping good. I like Ford. Let's go ahead and buy some shares. Ford, I don't like to play options on it too much unless we're buying leaps. So leaps long 2026. Let's go ahead and buy shares of Ford. Okay. We can probably get to 2x holding Ford shares long. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know I'm a big Ford fan. We've been buying shares Ford since it was like $8 and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get some more Ford shares and let's go ahead and push some leaps into 2026. Apple's popping, man. Absolutely killing it. But we're hitting up the line that we did on the chart video that we did last night. So we're looking for some resistance. And we're hitting probably a little battle zone here. So let's go ahead and expect, if you're in those trades that we did, the swing trades over the weekend, let's go ahead and take some profits and move the stop loss, above break even so we can protect our trade. And let's go ahead and think about potentially looking at least eyeballing some potential short entries, 185 puts potentially. We're not going to take them yet, not until the river turns, right? We're still riding the wave, not until the river turns, all right? But we're expecting the resistance to happen up here just because that's typically what happens with Apple. We push, 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 then people are going to start profit taking a little bit, some sort of article comes out or whatever. But if it doesn't happen, then we can easily push again and we can continue our ascent. But we just want to be ready, okay? Because we do have a gap to fill down here. Lucid, I don't like Lucid either, but shares long, sure, why not? At 283, we can go ahead and buy some shares. It's definitely in the range. Greenway Technology, I don't even know what that is. 4 cents. I think this used to be a darling meme stock back in like the COVID area thing. If I remember correctly, Greenwave Technology is, I'm not even going to take a bet on it. I wanted to say it was some sort of a weed stock, but I might be wrong on that one. But anyways, I remember this one trending pretty hard, a while back. Never liked it. It's under 5 cents. I don't really mess with the stocks that are under 5 cents. Not too much. Plug is moving. I think it's okay to go ahead and look at leaps on Plug. Shares long Plug, sure, why not? Under $3, let's go ahead and grab up some shares. Take 100 shares of Plug, hold them. Anything below $3 from here on out, we can go ahead and start nibbling in at tens on the shares. Intel popped up, kind of got this little descending wedge here. We're okay with that, man. Descending wedges that are tight usually end up to spiking up moves, okay? What we don't like to see is we don't like to see this, right? We don't like to see descending wedges where we get spurts of big drops like this. We get big drops and then drips, big drops and drips. But a big drop and then a drip, and then we get little drips, and then we get tight, 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 tight. We're getting to a decision-making point. So what we need confirmation, okay? We need a decision-making point. We need movement to the upside. We need to break previous levels. So we have to break like this level here, right? To the upside, gives us confirmation of the trend shifting to the long side. We can go long. If we can't, we break, we reject here. We're probably looking for the short-sided house back to probably down here where we got some previous levels, okay? So that's kind of the idea that we're looking on Intel. But anything under 30, right? I'm a big buyer, man. Intel shares long. I'm a buyer on this one. I think that they're going to be, doing some things here in the future. Call me crazy. I think Intel still has a place in this digital artificial intelligent computer chip market and stuff like that. I think they're a sleeper. I think people are sleeping on them because they're running with the the cool kids on the block, the NVDA, the AMD and stuff. They're forgetting about, the nerds with the pocket protectors back in the class, that are part of the chess club. You know what I'm saying? Intel is part of the chess club, right? They're forgetting about them and stuff like that. Don't forget about the chess club, man. They're the ones that are making the moves like the boss on the low. So we want to make sure we got them on standby. All right, guys. Hey, that's all I got on the list for you, man. Like I said, we got about 25 minutes in there. If you got anything you want to drop, go ahead and drop it. Do I got anything on the comments? Nope, no comments. Let's go ahead and look at a couple things real fast before we close up. I got 5 minutes. SPX. All right, SPX 5 minute chart. All right, let's look at it. We got a nice little moving average here that we're looking at, just basic. Underneath the moving average right now, if we pop above the moving average, we're looking for probably some long entries. So you can take a gamble on a long entry right now, looking for a retest of about 5.5228. But understand that if we don't hold above our short-term moving average, that's just going to be a wasted move. Okay, so we definitely need to see the pressure come back into it in order to make this valid. But you know, if we can hold it, this inverted cup and handle, I sometimes like those because you got your little handle here, you got your inverted cup. All we need is that push to the upside. So you get out of this lunchtime slump and we start to accelerate, the push here. It's too late to probably do zero DTEs. We probably want to look for 1 day expirations on this particular trade if we're going to go do that. But be careful. You want to catch this one on the dip to the downside. And if you do that, you're just going to go ahead and shift your levels. Okay. Every half move, half brick that you see here, these lines, right? You start to move every half brick. You just go ahead and move your price target that much, right? You just move it down one. And that's just kind of how you operate. We're starting to move now. If we can close above on a 5 minute, okay, 15-minute best, we'll go ahead and think of the long entry. And like I said, we're looking for the target here, 5.228. Let's go ahead and look at Boeing. Boeing, we like it. I told you guys in the video yesterday, 180. What did I say? I said 180 was the target. Look at it, okay? It hit 180, above 180, and we're popping back up, okay? So start to look at Boeing, okay? 190, 190 calls pushed out. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. CVX, CVX, we're kind of scraping the bottom. Could be a potential for the push to the upside. We need to break previous levels here in order to give confirmation of the push to the upside. If not, we're probably going to fail. Lyft looking weak, probably more downside coming. Uber looking weak too. Unless it hits that meme category like everything else, we're probably looking for some down pressure here. UPS, if it can hold off of this downtrend, which is about to happen, we can probably look for the acceleration to the upside to go retest the 150. It has to hold this. Right now it's hitting, but we're at the top part of the RSI and looking like we're about to cross on the MACD. So, give this a little bit of time, see if it holds this levels up here. If we can hold this level, stay above, the 149 area, probably look for maybe a swing call on that one. IWM, I'm still a big idea here, but we're probably looking to refill this gap down here. So IWM probably short to go refill the gap, but I like IWM to 210. Okay. You can get cheap contracts, 215 pushed out to the end of May, definitely on the cards. All right, on the cards, 215 contracts, calls pushed out to the end of May on the cards. You can even go into June. They're not that expensive. And if we stay bullish, we stay greed on, those will definitely get you an edge. And let's go ahead and look at SPY. SPY a little weak right now, but that's okay. We're holding inverted cup and handle again, kind of just like the SPX. If we can hold the levels, we'll go ahead and look for the long entries here. And let's go ahead and look at QQQ. QQQ holding a little bit better than SPY. With QQQ, let's go ahead and put a line on this. We want to look for a push above, right? 443.50. We start to close above that. We're we're hitting levels here. Right? Okay. You're hitting shelf here. You're making higher highs, right? We're going to come to a decision point. We're either going to squeeze up or we're going to squeeze down. So let's go ahead and make that one. Watch this one. We start to break to the upside. We'll go ahead and take the trade. If we don't break to the upside, we're going to go ahead and wait for the trade down here. This is our squeeze level, our squeeze line. Okay, so you got your top, you got your bottom, and this is our level here. Looking like we're trying to hit a little bit of pressure selling off. We need to close below this before we start to go short. All right, guys. Hey, that's it. Appreciate you guys taking your time coming for the lunchtime crunch, 30-minute blast, killing it, guys. Remember, check out Traders War Room. We got the Mayday discount, 60% off. I wanted to afford everyone the opportunity to come get some with the TWR Bulls. You know, we want to make sure that everybody has a server that truly cares about the people and the members inside the server, that not just give you the alerts, but also teach you how to trade and how to make alerts work for you. Okay. We don't want to just give you fish to eat. We want to teach you how to catch the fish so that you can eat for a lifetime. And that's essentially what we're doing. Check the description out in the tabs. Check us out on the social medias, and I'll catch you guys at that bell. And let's go out there and kill it, man. Let's make that money, guys. I'll catch you guys next time.